Well, here I am. Let's see if I get more light on the subject. There we go. All right. Well, it is 5 o'clock. This is Most Things Hypnosis. My name is Isla Brock, and I welcome. I'm like a little lost right now. It's just been a whirlwind of a day trying to get everything done. Today's shows always they're always a little different, but I'm not always saying well, it can be very long, but then I end up not lying, but I guess in a way not telling the truth because I get all excited about the topic and then I don't want to, you know, stop talking about it. But I had a meeting I was going to go to, but I have to work tonight. So I'm going to forgo the meeting and be here with you guys. And then afterwards, I'm going to work. So welcome to my show. I'm here every Thursday live at 5 for a few minutes. And I just bring up different topics that might be of help to people. And just kind of discuss it. And if you're on the Zoom, you can raise your hand, you can chime in the conversation. It's a lot, it can be a lot of fun. I mean, there are times when there's a few of us that can be engaging and kind of fun. Just can be fun and funny sometimes. I like funny. I do funny. I don't always overthink things, do I? Oh, it's all fun and games until somebody gets hurt. Remember mom saying that? I mean, anyway, today's about overthinking. And then the other topic I'm going to touch on is conditional apologies or just conditional things that, anyway, conditional apologies. I'm overthinking it, am I? You ever had, I've had these moments where I'm like trying to figure out what to do, what decision to make on this, and this, and I'm talking to a friend and you've seen it in sitcoms or whatever. And you're like, and what about, and then this happens. But if I do that and this, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. Okay, we're done. You just do a whole thing right there in like 10 seconds and you've made up your mind, already done it. You've overthought, and you came up with a decision. You can take a breath and go about your decision. What? Anyway, overthinking can be actual. It can actually, I don't know. I'm thinking overthinking can actually be a good thing sometimes. And sometimes overthinking can just be a pain in the tush, if you will. Here's some funny little, or not, well, lighthearted. Some of them are lighthearted quotes. Some of them are not. Some of these little quotes that I found might have some meaning to you. You ever ruined your own vibe from overthinking too much? Oh, that's a kind of a demotivator. Stop thinking about everything so much. You're breaking your own heart. Now, let's talk about thinking about everything so much. Did you know that the brain can think of 7 things plus or minus 2. So basically between 5 and 9 things all at once. So you get 9 things going all at once. You can think of the weight of your head, the weight of your feet, the weight of your arms. Think about your eyes, your breathing. Think about the atmosphere in the room. Think about how relaxed you are. Think about 2 more things I can't even think of. Think about the light in the room, and you can think about. I had them all too. How you want to swallow. So you can think about all these things, kind of thing, and really, if you just keep thinking about them over and over, you're going to miss one. You might miss 2, but to think about all 9 at the same time can be a challenge for some people. So basically what's happening is your brain is sharing time and scanning it for each of these individual items that you're trying to think of all at once. And it's going very rapidly, very fast. So you're not really thinking about all these things, everything, every second of the day. And here's something I was going to bring up later, but I'm going to bring it up right now because it's very important. Just because a thought comes into your head doesn't mean you need to keep it there, doesn't mean you need to answer it, and it doesn't mean you need to act upon it. Don't act upon it. It's just a thought. Just let the thought be. It's just a thought. And you can dismiss the thought. That's all you have to do. Just dismiss the thought. And it can go on. Every thought that comes in doesn't have to have an action to it. So it could be fully incorporated in your own behavior not to do that. Just turn it into Scooby-Doo's voice and live happily ever after. Okay. All right. So let's talk a little bit about this thing called um, overthinking. Overthinkers. You dwell or worry upon things or things that you've thought about over and over again. You've just kind of stretch it out. Did you know that you, like I said, don't have to act upon the thought? See, I even got to it. You actually let your thought go and just don't give it another thought. So funny. Overthinkers are worry warts. My dad used to call that worry warts. We're the what ifers. And I include myself. I was one or am one. So here's some examples of the what if this happened. What if that happens? What if I go to bed and I wake up with a sore throat? What if I go to my bank account and it's all disappearing, all the money's gone? And what if I put on my glasses and they don't work anymore? What if I grab my soda and there's no more soda in it? And what if my mouse needs a battery? And what if I can't, breathe right tomorrow? And what if I forget how to play my instrument? And what if I forget, or what if I can't do my recital? Or what if you can just what if yourself to death? And the what if, it's just, what if I can't stop drinking? What if I can't stop smoking? What if I can't stop the bad behavior that I'm in? What if you can't do that? So much energy into all of that. What if I can stop a bad behavior? And instead of even saying it like that, because that's where your mind is headed. Your mind is headed to exactly what you're thinking. I am in a better behavior. I am happy. I am happy. And imagine, you just have to imagine the emotional intent behind those words. I am happy. So let's continue. The people also that are the what ifers, they also could be needed people, the exhorters of our world, the ones that have all the answers to everything else that's possibly going on. So they're the ones that are going to be there to give you all the scenarios, all the sides. You really, almost like we need exhorters in our life, people that are just the what ifers. What if that happened? How do we fix it? How do we do that? Whatever. And those make really good people to have in your circle or on your team, just so you can know how to do stuff. How do we do a funeral? How do we go about setting up our laptop? How do we, these are the what if it goes wrong? And what if we don't wire? What if I'm not on Zoom today? What if I can't, whatever, there could be a lot of that going on, but you're also needed. Your what if mind can see a bigger picture in some areas, even though they're monoed and they're cloistered, it's still a picture of something that you can see that maybe others can't. But we think of everything. So how do you stop it? Well, first of all, I'm going to encourage you. The first thing I would highly suggest you do is write down everything that you are what ifing about, everything that you're overthinking about. Write it down. Just write it all down. It might take you a couple of hours to write it. Then let it take you a couple of hours to write it down. It's okay. Let it do that. And then after you've done that, look at the theme of what you wrote down. What's the central theme about everything that you just what if yourself? Make sure, I'm sorry, I didn't want to spill anything behind me as I moved my thing back. I needed room to put my arms. I'm trying not to talk too much with my hands. I'm working on it. So after you write it down, just write all the things that you're what ifing about. What if, just write it all down. You can type it out too, but writing it down is so much better. And if you don't like to write, then I guess you can type. Anyway, after you've exhausted all of that writing, look at the theme of what you wrote. Is the worry of a lot of things a theme? Is it just one specific thing just being rewritten over and over again? How can you can examine that? Like, say a client comes in to see me and they're coming in for overthinking. And yes, hypnotherapy can help that. We'll get into that in a minute. They're getting into overthinking and all they end up talking to me about is their mother. they're just like their mother. And what about it? No, my mom this, my mom that. It's the real negative relationship they have with their mother. It's all about their mother, just a bad thing. And it's like, or their soulmate or their, their partner. And they're just, they're overthinking well, what if that? And well, tell me about your, I'll take it back to overthinking. And what are you worried about? Well, my mom and I had this argument. So blah, blah, blah. Okay, listen. Now tell me, what were you overthinking about in this situation? Well, then last week, my mother, and means if the conversation just keeps going back to something else, well, clearly it's not so much overthinking as there might be an issue with someone or something, a situation. So that is something to look at. Look at what you wrote down. Overthinking, it can lead to self-oriented anxiety, I call it. Worrying about worrying, and it can be very exhausting, fatiguing. It can create some kind of a depressed state where if I just sleep, I don't have to, worry about anything. Well, I'm not a doctor or anything like that. I can't diagnose or anything, but that's just, I'm guessing. Undue stress, that can happen. So how can we stop this whole cycle of overthinking? Well, first of all, we'll understand worry itself as a bully. It's going to do what it can to rear its ugly head. Imagine worry with little horns on top, okay? And then hypnotherapy can help. How would I help somebody worry? Well, first of all, I'm going to decide with you if that's exactly what it is. If you're overthinking everything and your mind is going in all the different ways, we're going to break those down. What are the most, the top things that you're what ifing about, you're overthinking about? We're going to break each one of those down. And I'm going to have you just really exhaust yourself into, wow, that wasn't an issue at all. Typically, that's what ends up happening, worrying for nothing kind of thing. So, and then in hypnosis, I will take you to a place of relaxation and happiness and calmness and just kind of extinguishing that anxiety that's been kind of plaguing you, and just see where that leads us to what happens next. Distractions can help you. So taking a walk, doing meditation, gratitude towards others, service towards others, figuring out the triggers and collapsing them. Is there a bigger picture in mind besides your worry? I mean, you're worried, but what's the bigger picture that you're worried about? Let's say, you're getting married and the bridesmaids' dresses are they're not working for you. And you're just, what if they fly up and the wind blows or whatever? So what's the big picture? What's the worst? Okay, so now we got to work at, how we can help fix that. You're going to start your own business, and there's a lot of worry about starting our business. I know, I'm self-employed, and it's a lot of work. And for me, it's a lot of fun. Some people, it's just a lot of work. And some people own a business that just becomes a job. I want mine to be more than a job. But anyway, I'm helping people. So it's taking the time to understand the big picture of what the worry comes from. So my suggestion would be to please contact me. If you'd like to contact me, I'm here. I'd be happy to chat with you. And if you look down here, let's see, where is it? It's right there. You see my name? Right there, Isla B at centralvalleyhypnotherapy.com. You can contact me right there and I will reply. Those emails go directly to my phone, and they chime my phone. My other emails don't chime my phone. This email does, because everything that comes in on that email, I need to respond to as soon as possible. Now, if I'm asleep, I'm not going to respond if I'm asleep. Middle of the night stuff, whatever. Yeah, just understand that. Okay. So the next thing I'd like to talk about are what's called conditional apologies. What the heck is a conditional apology? Hang on, let me just bring up my notes so that I'm with everybody. Let me just bring this up and bring you guys back up on my other screen. Okay. The word if It's a conditional clause. And whenever you use the word if, not in a supposition like if this, then that, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the conditional part of the clause. When you bring up a condition to something, it's not really the something you're bringing. You're putting a condition, not that you had any contrition towards it. For example, the conditional apology. If I did anything to hurt you, I'm sorry. That's conditional. That doesn't mean you're sorry for what you did. You're just sorry that it hurt you. You fall short of the actual apology. First of all, why are you telling someone you're sorry in the first place if you don't really mean it? You got to have some contrition to it if it's really a true apology, an apology. And then why are you not holding yourself accountable to the whole sorry and just putting in, and it just exclude the if in the first place? It perhaps suggests that someone has been hurt, maybe not hurt, but I'll pacify them. I'll just apologize. I apologize. I'm sorry if what I did hurt you. See, some people don't see it. I'm sorry. It implies to the other person that you are admitting something you did wrong. You admit something that you are going to live and own your decision, own your wrong, and be fine in it. Doesn't mean you're going to lose sleep over it. The other person's going to feel a lot better, and you can restore that rapport that you used to have. So if what I said offends you, I'm sorry. Basically, not for saying it, but for the offense it caused. Not now, they just need to grow a set of, big boy panties and stand up for them, backbone. But sometimes words can be very hurtful, or how you react or how you behave can be hurtful. Sarcasm is one of my favorite languages, and sometimes sarcasm can be very hurtful if the two or whoever the team is or the parties that you're all sarcasming with aren't on the same page as you, or if you got triggered and your sarcasm comes in, your sarcasm is now hurting somebody else. So don't take a past historical event and bring it to your future, because that was the past and now you've just got now. And so just if something happened, you communicate and you continue, and it makes it better. Let's talk about forgiveness, which is just fancy I'm sorry's. Forgive me if what I did caused you any pain. And that just means you're not going to be contrite in your actions. You're not going to own it. You're not putting yourself in someone else's shoes for that moment. I say own it. If I screw up, I own my screw up. Do I like it? Of course not. But I own it because it's mine. And you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to turn on my recorder. Hopefully YouTube is recording this. So if it is, then you'll find this on YouTube. Put yourself in someone else's shoes. See, just imagine what they're going through if you were to be, trade places, and how there's the behavior being reached to you. Accept that you've offended someone and hurt someone, and just own it. Make amends for it if the other party wishes it. So if you break someone's heirloom, not much you can do about it. You can try. But if you put a ball through someone's window, fix it. Even if they say, oh, no, don't worry about it. No, you're going to fix it, or give them a gift card to Home Depot. That would actually fix it. Then it's on them. But you've done your amends, if you will. If you back into someone's car, stay with it. Call your insurance company. No one got hurt. If it's going to take a while and the owner of the other car isn't there, the insurance company will probably suggest you leave your name and number with them and call them, and they'll have but do something responsible about it. Just don't leave. Oh, no one saw me. It's cool. Be aware that sometimes people do not know. This is big because this has been part of my life. They don't know that their actions caused you an upset. Bring to their attention. Sometimes, years can go by and there's been no communication, nothing happening, whatever. And between people, between parties, and what used to be friendships is now a misunderstanding or lack of an apology for something the other party did that they didn't even know caused any kind of hurt or pain. They had no idea. So the character of a person is not what he does in front of others so much as what he's doing in his own heart, even alone by himself. So if you're one to use if in an apology, start thinking about why you're conditioning the apology. Do you really feel like you've done something wrong? No? Well, then figure out why am I in trouble? Why is this person hurt? Talk to them and communicate that. Open that door of communication. If you need help, ask a friend that's disinterested third parties where therapists come in and have them help you sort out the whys and wherefores of why am I, feeling this way towards this person? Why are they like whatever? Communication. It's the number one reason why people break up friendships, marriages, relationships, family, whatever's. Communication, a lack of it, a lack of being able to tell somebody how you feel. Now, that doesn't mean you scream and yell and cuss at them. It means that you just communicate to them how you feel respectfully, being respectful in that. And then also I had someone mention this to me, and I kind of agree with it. Pick your battles. Some battles are just like, I'm not going to lose any sleep over this situation. So I'll just let that one go because it's whatever. So I'll just let it go. It's fine. If you don't think about it again, then it is probably fine. But if you're really deeply hurt, or if there's something I haven't heard from so-and-so in a couple of years, I wonder what's going on. That happened to me with some neighbors that we became friends with years and years ago. Probably 5 years went by, and I finally just sent an email over asking if there's anything we done, then please let me know. I'd love to fix it and move forward and maybe restore a friendship. But I don't know if there was anything that I had done. I just know that there was a lot of silence. And I did learn, I don't like silence. So when you're quiet, you're not talking, that's going to hurt. And not just me, but a lot of people. Women, we overthink. Why are they so quiet? Okay, men too. So here's the secret. When someone you're partners with and they are not talking and you're doing all the talking, let's say you're the extrovert, they're the introvert, and they're not doing a lot of, they do some, but they're not doing a lot of talking. And you're just in this conversation. It's almost like one-sided, and they say nothing. Here's my advice to you. Shut up. Just do what they're doing. If they walk away, let them. They're not walking away forever. That kind of thinking and that kind of mind, they have to process information, and they process it so differently than someone like me who can process stuff so much faster. I get it in my head, and now maybe I should process it a little slower, take my time with something, because I do realize I dwell on what I could have, should have said in an argument or a conversation. Oh, I had one shot and I wish I had taken my time with it. Stop and listen and just wait, or just don't talk. Just wait. No talking is not a bad thing. Silence can be awkward, can be a blessing, and that person, they will come back. Unless they're just totally out of their own emotions, they will come back and discuss it, and then give it a day, sometimes a couple days. Hey, have you thought about blah, blah that we talked about the other day? Sorry, I got all bent out of shape. I wasn't sure where that was going, and blah, blah, blah. Own it and then see what happens. A lot can happen if you just take your time and just let the other person or persons process the information. Children who don't talk, they're processing information all the time. One of the things that really can annoy me as a hypnotherapist, I work with teenagers. I'm probably going to refer my teenagers out to somebody who can work with them a lot better than I can. Teenagers are amazing, but they are so aloof and they're quiet, or they're afraid to open up and communicate. So learning, and it's just maturity. It's a maturity thing. And so I don't want to waste a parent's time and money on a child that doesn't even want to be here. So they have to want it. But anyway, that's a whole other program. There's some little cute little memes here that I found about apologizing. Sorry, you misinterpreted my brilliant joke as horribly offensive. Now, I can be pretty offensive, and I have to be careful about how I word things because it can come off offensive, I guess is the best way to put it. Being sarcastic, I might be considered serious in what I just said, but really I wasn't, for the most part anyway. This one here's, I'm sorry that my not caring gets in the way of me caring. Now that one's kind of one, you got to think about that one. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is to admit that I was right. Let that be a lesson, huh? That's a good one, huh? I like that. The hardest thing to do is admit I was right. How many of you don't respond to emails? I try. I got a couple thousand, almost 3,000 emails at any given time. And I'm trying to get rid of all the junk mail and just unsubscribe to a lot of stuff so that the only thing that comes up in my email now is stuff that I actually want to read and I can keep up with it. So there you go. This one here says, I'm sorry that what exactly did I say that made you think I gave a crap about your opinion, because I really want to make sure I do not make that mistake again. All right, there's a lot of funnies out there, guys. And next week, a couple of commercials here real quick. First, I'm here every Friday, every Thursday live at 5. Same bat channel, same bat time, and same Zoom link. No waiting, you just get on and wait for me. I'll be there about 5 o'clock, sometimes a little earlier. Sometimes I actually have music going, sometimes I don't. Okay, and the other thing is I started a television show-ish. It's on Roku, on the Austin Reed Network on Roku and Amazon Fire, I'm sorry, Austin Reed Network. The name of my show is called News and Hypnosis. So I've done 2 shows. The first one was just basic about the subconscious mind. My second show is about tinnitus. Some of you say tinnitus. And next week's show, well, this tinnitus is going to air on Saturday on the Roku Austin Reed Network. And then week from Saturday, I'm going to be, my next show will be on hypnotherapy and cancer and how, smoking. And then the fourth one is cancer. And I have a total of 12 coming up. So it's happening. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I enjoy creating these there are a lot of it's going to be medical based, how hypnotherapy can help chronic pain and I have the tinnitus, smoking, addictions. I'll have the whole thing. I'll talk a little bit about it on my third show, but there'll be a whole show on about hypnotherapy and addictions and what the expectation is from a hypnotherapist. Overall, should be anyway, where I was trained, it was brilliant. I'll do again one on cancer, and after that I'll probably start doing a little bit more some autoimmune diseases, how that can be helped. I'll probably get into a little bit of the psychology of how to help somebody in anxiety, how to work with somebody who is depressed. But see, some of these I can't work with by myself. I need help by other healthcare professionals who that client is working with, and that's their client or their patient. So if it's a doctor or whatever, or psychologist, and I'm working with them, as we're a team working together to help that person become that which they desire and get out of whatever it is they're doing. I'll be talking about traumas, do a show on trauma and past traumas, childhood traumas, inner child self-love, that kind of thing. So there's a lot to come. I'll be doing a show it airs Friday night or Saturday morning on Roku, I guess, on the Austin Reed Network. And I'll be doing it all the way March, April, all the way through the end of May, and then reevaluate to see if I'm going to be signed up or signing up for another dozen shows. So I am offering, if you are interested in advertising, the reach is over 20 million viewers, Nielsen rating viewers. So if you would like to be a part of that, just let me know. All right, folks, you take care, and I'll be back next Thursday on for another exciting show of most things hypnosis. Who knows? Maybe I'll have a guest on. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you next week. Well, actually, you'll see me because no one's here. So anybody watching this has actually been watching it.